Hi, this is Iliamel again with the Dark Awakening solo adventure Dungeons and Dragons. So after making 3 introductions, creating the characters and set the gameplay background a little bit, we now come to the encounter 1. So now it's where it's going to get really exciting. As you probably figured out, I'm doing some re-editing after I was recording live the whole game, but that has some dead points and some boring repetitions, so I hope this will bring it a little bit more interesting. So encounter 1, I made a clear picture of the PDF file so everybody can read for themselves, but you should read this out loud. So you dream of shaking earth and screams, the smell of rot and dark laughter, burning eyes glare back at you in the dream, the vision changes with the smell of turned earth and wet leaves and a crushing weight on your chest. You feel warmed nearby and see a source of blurred yellow light. Then something crashes loud, followed by a shrill scream.
Oh no!
You wake with a start, still in your bedroll, and realize a thin black wasp grasps you by your legs and torso. It's pulling you towards a large chasm in the ground, on one side of what appears to be a ransacked campsite under a looming hillside on all sides except the east. The warm light turns out to be a campfire in the dimness of dawn. Crackling as it slowly dies, other roots reach out through the camp. You remember that someone else should be here, your companions. But you know little else, especially why you're here. Another shrill scream draws your eyes to a small form struggling with another vine. It's a goblin, in rather fine clothing and armor for his ilk. His bulging eyes fall on you. Please help, what's please.
Anke, please help, what's SPLUG?
He says name, and you remember that it's yours and that SPLUG is your friend. You and he are about 15 or 20 feet from the edge of the hole. It's time to act. Then you see this nice map with the campsite, your player character, in my case Anke Dwyghe, and SPLUG the Goblin as DS, and then you have the tainted roots, which we will see on the second page in a minute, and you'll see the chasm. So we know that one of the roots grabbed Anke and the other one grabbed SPLUG. We also know that none of the heroes, including SPLUG, didn't draw any weapons. The encounter listed several options, which you can see on the first page of the encounter and the second page, and depending on what happens, you have to go to certain paragraphs. There is a typical monster tactics, there is some features, and then you have a conclusion, where you have to continue the story. Since I copied the plans, which were in a separate file on the internet in the Wizard of the Coast website, let's now set up the monsters and the player characters and continue from there. So here we have the setup of the first encounter. We got Anke, grabbed by a root, close to a tent. We got her hawk in the treetop, fast asleep, and then we have SPLUG also grabbed by a tainted root. I use these kind of demon tokens to represent the different roots, where we start with number 2 being 6, then 1, 3, 4, 2, 5, so 6 tainted roots. So let's see what we can do. I suppose then we roll for initiative and then we have to call it the next session. Quickly have a view. If a creature enters the campfire, we have to look something. We can look in the chasm, but I guess we have to get loose from the tainted roots. We can do some knowledge checks for minor action, arcana, dungeoneering, nature skill. Anke has big, high nature skill. Hero could grab a tent with a free hand as a minor action. Also the knowledge skill is a minor action. He could grab a tree as a minor action. Quickly check through the tactics. It's gonna try to make a grasp attack if it's not grabbing. If it is grabbing, it's gonna try to drag the victim into the chasm. Then you have to follow certain paragraphs depending on when you fall in, before SPLUG or after SPLUG. And the tainted roots do not willingly enter the campfire square. But of course, if it enters the campfire square, I suppose that's a bonus. Corners of a tent do not block movement, but tent squares are difficult terrain. Creature in the tent cannot be attacked unless its attacker is inside the tent too. Okay, tree squares are also difficult terrain. And then we come to the conclusion, I suppose, when we can get out of this nasty situation. So that's it for this session. Let's start the next session and roll for initiative and see how it goes.
Voilà.